Hey friends, and welcome back to my channel. In this video, I wanted to share some of the techniques I used to weather this MK44 Ammoknight from Robot Battle 5. Before I begin, I first like to lay out all of my supplies to get an idea for which products I will use. I normally use a combination of acrylics and oils, but will also occasionally use enamels, pigments, and texture paints. Before I apply any paints, I first like to go over the decals with a 12 to 1500 grit sanding sponge. When using this technique, I try to keep the pressure applied to a minimum. Once it looks right, I back off and I move on to the next decal. Once all the decals are physically chipped, I then move on to chipping with acrylics and a sponge. I like to use this black-brown color that I have pre-mixed and this wiry piece of filter for the application. If a chip needs any adjusting, I keep a cotton bud close by and quickly touch it up. Once I finished with the acrylic chipping, I decided to add some burn effects with an acrylic marker. I used black and applied it to this used smoke discharger and on the tip of the gun barrel, and then blended in with a cotton bud. I then moved on to using oil paints. I started with these oil brushers from Ammo by Mig. Starting off with dust, I dabbed little blobs in some key areas, mainly in crevices and certain panels. I used an old brush, damp with odorless thinner, to soften and work the oils around the surface, and used a cotton bud when needed to further blend. I next started applying Starship filth onto some of the armor panels. The lower legs were given a filter of dust. Using a dry brush, I work the paint until it is well blended into the model. Using the same method, the upward-facing sections of the suit were given a filter of buff to help simulate sun fading. Mixing red, orange, and purple oils, I applied these in certain areas to simulate fluid leaks. This was a technique and a look I really liked in Lincoln Wright's work and wanted to emulate it. It took a couple of applications until it looked right, but was definitely worth it. I then mixed Vallejo dark earth texture, oily earth wash, and some Tamiya mud powder into a cup with water. Using a soft, worn brush, I splattered the paint around the lower sections with the help of my airbrush. The feet were given a heavier application with the brush. And that's this model done. I didn't want to go super heavy and exaggerated with the weathering, and tried to embrace a more subtle and restrained look. This suit has seen some action, but isn't all beaten up like many of its comrades. I hope you found some value in this video, and please leave me a like if you did. I have a few more projects in the works and hope to see you back here next time I upload. Bye friends.